The United States Children's Fund and the European Commission are working with the agencies in Sudan to halt female genital mutilation. VOA Africa correspondent Scott Stearns has that story.
Tahani Omar Ali lives in the northern Sudanese village of Gedaraf. She remembers well the day of her circumcision.
I was 5 years old and it was a painful day. I stayed in bed for 15 days, after which it healed, but for the rest of my life, I suffered. I suffer in my daily life.
This circumcision, which is also known as female genital mutilation, involves the removal of external female genitalia or injury to other organs. Communities that value the practice believe it increases sexual desire, maintaining chastity and virginity before marriage and fidelity during marriage. UNICEF and the European Union are working with local groups to discourage this practice in Sudan by encouraging conversations about human rights between families, neighbors, and communities. It's part of a campaign called Salima. Samira Ahmed works in UNICEF's Child Protection Program.
Salima in itself is an Arabic word which means complete, intact, whole, as God created.
The conversations often begin in less formal settings where women and girls meet to discuss women's health.
I convince them by approaching them little by little, not abruptly. I use proper logic, gaining their friendship. I use booklets and posters and seminars, too.
The UNICEF and EU program is backed by Sudanese groups who oppose female genital mutilation, or FGM. The campaign includes public entertainment at community events and traditional scarves in colors associated with the Salima campaign that have been distributed in more than 15 states. Gamar Habani is Secretary General of the National Council for Child Welfare in Sudan.
We designed these colors as Salima slogans, and these colors means that everybody who wears this, that means he is Salima, and he is supporting abandoning FGM. This will lead to what? To a very wide dialogue in the community.
Hundreds of religious leaders have joined the campaign, including the Imam and former Sudanese Prime Minister Sadiq Ahmadi.
There is a growing human rights movement in the country. There are many conservative and reactionary who try to speak about human rights as a cultural imperialism from outside. We have done exactly the opposite, to say that Islam is the greatest bastion supporter of human rights.
More than 200 communities have joined the anti-FGM campaign. People who decide to end the practice in their families are invited to celebrate the decision publicly, to encourage others to do the same.
The campaign is targeting the communities. The abandoning of FGM should not be as a personal act. It should be as the act for the whole community.
For Tahani Omar Ali and her husband Abdul Ati Abdullah Ibrahim, the Salima campaign has encouraged them to decide together what's best for their daughters.
When I came across this program, Salima, I consulted my wife. We were ready and prepared to respond to this program. A girl is born Salima, so leave her Salima.
By taking a personal stand against female genital mutilation, health officials say Ali and Ibrahim are giving their daughters lives free from the debilitating medical and psychological consequences of a practice that's still thought to affect more than 80% of Sudanese girls. Scott Stearns, VOA News, Dakar.